I don't really have a ton of game-breaking analysis or statistics to bring to the table here, but I had to make this video to explain why I am so excited for this year's European Open. The first thing, of course, to mention is the return of Eagle McMahon. I think that professional disc golf is a better place with Eagle in it. His generational talent, his ability to make giant disc golf courses look small with his skill off the tee. It's been missed. Eagle, I think, pushes the field forward and elevates the level of play in any tournament he attends. Obviously, expectations should be tempered for this event and really for the rest of his season, in my mind. Eagle won't be throwing 500-foot forehands maybe ever again, but I think his backhand over the next offseason will be worked back into rotation, and simply seeing Eagle McMahon competing in a tournament will be a welcome sight. Another reason I'm excited for the European Open is, well, I think the entire European field is still being slept on to a certain degree. One of the interesting storylines that unfolded in the beginning of this season was the return of European talent back onto American soil. For the first time in 2 years, Europeans were traveling across the Atlantic to compete on the biggest stage in disc golf. And to be completely honest, the results were, well, underwhelming. So far in the 10 Elite Series and major events of this season, Europeans claimed a total of only 3 top 10 finishes. Vaino Makala finished 3rd at DDO, and Albert Tam had a 5th place finish in Portland and a 6th at the Preserve. So why do I still think the Europeans are underrated? Where were the young, promising talents like Niklas Antila and Linus Karlsson, to name just a few? I have my own theory about the lack of European names at the top in this early portion of the season. One reason could be that the sample size was too small. Many of these guys only came into the US for 2 to 3 events. Another theory is that they just simply couldn't compete with the Wysockies and Heimbergs and Dickersons of the world. But I don't think that theory paints a full picture either. I personally believe it was timing. Let me explain. I don't want to overgeneralize, as Europe is, an entire continent and vastly differs region to region. But in places like Finland, where disc golf is huge, courses are, for the most part, wooded. Just like disc golf on the Great Plains of the US is marked by flat terrain and high winds, I think that European disc golf more closely resembles East Coast courses and the wooded challenges that they provide. Obviously, I'm generalizing, but I think it's true to an extent. So you take a talented disc golfer from Finland who's used to playing on courses like this, then coming across the US and then playing courses like this. I don't think it's a giant surprise that Europeans struggled in what was undoubtedly one of the windiest spring seasons in a while. I truly believe that in the back half of the season, where East Coast woods golf is in full effect, that we'll see a much better results from the Europeans that play in the US. Maybe I just need to take my tinfoil hat off and admit that European disc golf is not closing the gap as fast as I would have believed, but I think that this tournament will be a testament to the contrary. Look at the Sula Open last week and the show that young Jakub Semerat put on. The field is absolutely stacked for this European Open, minus a few young American talents like Gannon Burr and Kyle Klein. But I think that Europe will put on full display what they have to offer this weekend against America's best, and I cannot wait to see it unfold. While I'm here just throwing out hot takes left and right, I need to offer up one more. I think that Paul McBeth will win the European Open. And no, I'm not just picking Paul to win because he's won this event 5 times. I'm picking him because it seems like people have kind of been forgetting about him. It's understandable too. He's put together some hot rounds and a nice stretch of top 10 finishes, but he's not been performing to the level we expect of a Paul McBeth. And if I know anything about athletes like Paul, all-time greats that have forever put their stamp on the game, it's that when the world starts forgetting, they make sure you remember. Are you going to be watching the European Open? Who do you think will win it all? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this content, please consider taking an extra moment out of your day and subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time.